Well, it's turning out to be a beautiful morning here on the ride down to Circleville, Ohio. Obviously, I'm heading down to the sale. I got a number of videos to do for you guys today. It's here. Sale season is here, and tomorrow is the Ohio Select sale, the first very, very big sale on our dance card this year. And I woke up this morning, and it looks like the first partnership to crack 20% will be the partnership B. And I had a great email. Somebody saying, Anthony, what's the difference between the two partnerships and the premium horse? Premium horse is one horse. That's a horse that hopefully we can find value in hopefully we can find value in at the sale. So a horse that we may say, geez, this could be a six-figure horse or something along those lines that falls a little bit below, that would be the horse that we're looking for. Still want to find value, in fact, a lot of value in that particular horse. And that list, quite frankly, is not that deep of horses that might fit that criteria. Not that deep at all. I'm going to have a look at those horses in particular today. Now, and that led me to another wonderful email. Somebody said, Anthony, just so you know, I know you're looking at that premium horse in the Ohio Select. There's a number of very deep Ohio pedigrees in the Kentucky sale. You are correct, 100%. I've already seen that and dog-eared those horses also. So we have a number of horses that we're looking at both here now, and it spills over into Kentucky a little bit also, but no stone unturned, as they say. We're going to be looking at all available horses for the stable to make up our 2024 team. Now, had a great day yesterday. Man, I was so pleased with the way that Think of Galaxy's race. She has really been, to say a breath of fresh air would be the grossest insult. She has been something else. We bought her to be a high-end, kind of middle-of-the-road condition horse. Bounce around, and if she has to be tagged at some point, then so be it, we will. And what we fell into is an open pacing mare that has been rather impressive, and few races more impressive than yesterday. Put a snake cord on her yesterday for the first time, and because I was planning on racing her from mid-pack, or definitely I didn't want to be on the front end, but when you're even money going to the gate in the open pace and the favorites are going to come crashing down from the outside, I want to be positioned forward. I looked to my right leaving the gate. I knew that Dave Pallone was going out of there. All I had to do was make my way to the front, force the two horses' hand. He was going to have to release me, make my way to the front, and then at that point, now we're going to see if the snake cord works or not, because Think of Galaxies was before, if you watched her races before, both in Northfield and in the Meadows, her first start, I had a real chore to release a horse coming to me. Yesterday, no problem. She was a little kitty cat. Just tapped the brakes, let Dave Pallone coast over to the front, let her ride up on his shoulder, and just sat there. Really just let her stalk him. And when we come out of the last turn, I felt that I should be a winner, but that Josie mare is tough, man. I moved over and kicked the earplugs, and she inhaled her coming out of the turn, opened up and won as she wanted to. Looked good. Now, next week, they don't race at the Meadows. They're off for the week for Jug Week, and they have some maintenance to the track to do, which is fine with me. I hope the Open Marysville's the week after, because she needs a week off, too. Week off's not going to hurt her any. So that was a great victory, and then I come over to Northfield. We're trying to prep Wallop for those Massachusetts stakes now. Before everybody just gets their engines fired up, we bought a non-winners of one or two horse. Now we're just a two horse to race him. He's done very well for us. I don't think he's missed the board in all the starts we've raced him. He's won his last three. That doesn't mean that he is going to go down and inhale the Sire Stakes. That is the deepest end of the ocean in Massachusetts, is that Sire Stakes program at the end of the year. No, it's not New Jersey or Kentucky, but it's no walkthrough either. And there's some good horses down there. So, I'm going there with an open mind. I'd like to actually roll in there and drive him his first start. Plain Ridge, a really nice place to race. I already am licensed there. So I would like to go if I can. Something tells me that at least one or two of the legs of that Sire Stake, there's 4 legs in the final, which is great, but something tells me one or two of those legs I'm committed to other places. But we'll see. First and foremost, got to get the horse down to Mark Beckwith and get him racing. So he'll leave on the first available bus, and we'll get him we'll get him down to Mark. And if I can go down and drive him, then I'd love to. We'll see how that plays out. Also, how that storyline plays out. Also watched Sunset Acres girl win yesterday. You know, it's getting to the end of the year. She looks like she's got a little head nod. She's getting a little tired. But you know what? A little maintenance, and I'm sure she'll be just fine. Put her away for the winter and bring her back in the spring. Listen, she owes us nothing. She's been a treat to race thus far. Yesterday was a nice victory also, and Donnie and Krista Riley, I guess, have done a wonderful job with her. It's been a lot of fun, and yes, I am answering emails. Are we getting a Michigan horse? We might. I got the catalog right here. Cody Massey had dropped a bunch of them off to the race office the other day, and you know, I felt bad. I won't be able to attend the sale myself, but Donnie and Krista, that's who bought Sunset Acres girl for us, so we'll go over the sale book a little bit, looking for the same type of thing. You're not going to be spending a ton of money to buy a Michigan bred just yet. We're looking for something with some size that looks like it could be an athlete. Apparently it doesn't have to have any breeding, but we'll see. We'll see how that plays out. I mean, just, you know what, it's the oldest adage, I'd rather be lucky than good, and we've been very, very lucky this year. Certainly not perfect, but very lucky this year for the most part, and things are moving well. We have the Elegant Image this weekend for our girl Tactical Mounts. We have Memory and Imagination did draw into the $400,000 final, so we were kind of put between a rock and a hard place when it came to this weekend for him. You'll note that he is entered in the Keystone Classic on Saturday and the Kentucky Final on Sunday. Obviously, he's not going to race at both. The problem being that they both drew at the same time, and we weren't actually eligible to the Kentucky race. We were 12th in points. Now, we are going to be fined for scratching him out of Pennsylvania, which I thought I might be able to talk my way out of, because we have an obligation. Tim has an obligation to all of us to enter the horse in the Kentucky race, even though he's not in the top 10. He was not eligible, but if horses don't enter, he was. And that's exactly what happened. So we entered in the Keystone Classic. We do have to pay the $400 starting fee to the Keystone Classic. We do have to pay the $500 fine that Tim is going to receive for having to scratch him. It's called failure to honor a declaration. I get it, it's a rule, but I was hoping that maybe the judges would understand that, one, you know, he's literally racing for 10 times as much on Sunday, and two, we weren't technically eligible. We entered because out of respect for our clients and the horse, hopefully getting him to race in that race, but we weren't technically eligible at the time of entry, and they weren't having any of that. They were having none of that. They weren't too upset about it, but it was going to be a fine. It was going to be a fine immediately. I see all the farms where we have our horses now are like, you come to pick up these yearlings. We're sending all ours out to the sale. So that was Joe McLeod, Sugar Valley Farms. I'll give you a call back, Joe. He wants us to pick up our horses there. I'm sure going to get a chance to get to Midland Hickory Lane Farms as we buy our yearlings tomorrow. We're going to bring all of our homebreds and other horses we purchased in also. So the barn will be starting to fill up. Won't need a belt yet, but it'll be starting to fill up. And as I said to Lauren and Jason, both Jasons this week, buckle up. We have 63 stalls at Northfield. We may need more, but we're definitely going to have 63 horses on site by the time Harrisburg is over. That's a 100% certainty. So, so a great day, a great week of racing, a great summer of racing. As I said, Memory and Imagination is heading to Kentucky. Tactical Mounts is heading to Ontario. We got one more big race this weekend. What's wrong with me? I can't think of who it is. I know we get another huge race this weekend. Anyway, my apologies to my partners on that particular horse. I just got a lot going on, and you know, as I drive down the road and all this stuff is rattling around in my head, I still have to stay focused on what's most important today. Today we have the sale. I'm going to be there and looking at yearlings for you, getting a look at them and seeing what's what needs to happen tomorrow, what the pricing looks like. Found them, Mel Gibbs won. The Houghton We drew the outside. I talked to Ronnie Wren yesterday. He's such a cool guy. He's always upbeat. I only know a couple of people like him in the industry where it's just a job. He's a kind of a family guy, loves his family, and really cool guy to be around. He does a great job on the track, wins a lot of races, and has won races for us and will win races for us in the future. I would love him to win the race on Friday night. That would be really cool, but it's unlikely that Mel Gibbs Swan will be TCI. The whole hope of entering Mel Gibbs Swan was to maybe slide him into the consolation, but the good thing was he had made too much money and had to race in the final. Drew the 9-hole, but as I said to Ronnie, he knows the track, he likes the track, he gets off the car really quick, and although he's in with some Tigers, he's no slouch himself. They're probably going to go 53, 54. We're going to see what old Mel is made of. I don't expect a wonderful showing, but hold his own. Stretch him out a little bit and see what we got heading into the fall, because make no mistake, he is eligible to a couple other big races, and he still has the rest of the Indiana Sire Stakes coming up. So to be able to race against the best in the world and then go back into, and I'll say it because it's true and it's fair, drop back down into the Indiana Sire Stakes, and maybe a feather in his cap also. So excited about Mel Gibbs Swan. But most importantly, I'm excited and very thankful that my brother Mark decided to go to the Meadows tomorrow. Now, we have insider trading, and he picked up a couple of drives in stake races. I get it, but he has no stake drives today. For him to go down and drive How the Hell and Unique Style on those horses, it means a lot to me. And Quan Blue Chip means a lot to me, and it just goes to show, blood's thicker than water, so to speak. Now, though he didn't have any water to drive today, he only had blood to drive today. It didn't matter. He could have just hung out with his family at a water park in Batavia. He was there last night, drove 5 fish species very well, mind you, second in the final. He could have just hung out there or come up and hit the water park on the way up and hung out with Kiki, his daughter, and Aaliyah, but instead opted to come and drive the horses. So I am very thankful for that. Thank you, Mark. And I'm happy he's coming also because he knows Unique Style. He's new to us, but he's not new to Mark. Mark's been around him his whole life. I trained him the other day. I thought he trained rather well. I like the way he's hung up, and I hope Mark gets along well with him today. And then tomorrow we have all the horses. My only concern for right now is insider trading. Insider trading didn't have the greatest week. Was a little flat in training the other day. Her blood work come back good. It was so frustrating because she was coming in so sharp, and then have that issue in the consolation where she had hurt her foot and made a break, and then to get stuck in the trailer on the highway, and then come back and train, and it just so far from ideal for her. And it just goes to show you how things can come unglued quickly in this game. And I'm sure she'll persevere. She's such a tough filly. She'll persevere and bounce back. But getting near the end of the season also for her, Pull the Shoes is going to be a tough one for Mark. She's not an easy filly, and then you factor in the fact that this is her last start of the year. I really was tempted to scratch her, to be honest, but the rail is not a good spot for her. Just nothing really going good for her, except for she's getting a driver upgrade, I guess, on Friday. So a lot of fun there. Saturday we got just a ton of horses in to go Saturday, and that'll be a lot of fun for me. Patrick the Piranha is surfacing now, short open. That one's going to be a tough one for us, but we are going to also race All Gas No Brakes, who qualified very, very sharply on Tuesday. Coming back, for those of you worried about Gandalf, All Gas No Brakes is coming back Tuesday, Saturday also. So I'm not worried about that in the least. So a lot going on today. Heading to the sale, getting here first. Again, I truly appreciate all the efforts to buy up those bucket shares. I know a lot of people have jumped in over the last few days, and it looks like we're going to start to have our buckets drop below 20%. And as I said to everybody, if anybody out there owns a share of the bucket, they're going to have their first option to buy as many shares of any of the horses they want that we buy. So there is a real, it's not a certain, but a real possibility come Monday morning. I think Kelly wanted it to be Tuesday morning. Monday or Tuesday morning, when we unlock all the shares that are left, You don't want to be Tiny Tim at Christmas. All right? I want to make sure that everybody gets in and everybody gets what they want, but I certainly can't guarantee that. The only way to do that is to make sure you get in on the buckets. It has to be done that way. It's the only fair way to do it. And I truly appreciate everybody participating and showing the confidence that, the confidence you have in me to go and do my job at the sale. So thank you again for that. I do truly appreciate it. It should be a lot of fun. It's been a great year. It's been a great summer. I'm sure it'll be a great fall. Things are going well. And one other note, the Halakai horse or whatever will be racing here this week at Northfield Park. Now there's 30-some shares left, and they will be locked today, and they will all be mine if you guys don't want it in that filly. You can see what a sliver of fashion did to the maiden here last week, and I suspect I don't want to come off arrogant, but I suspect a very similar outcome. I'll predict a Jimmy the Greek-like outcome, a similar outcome for Halakai, her first start for us. It's wonderful because these horses, I truly believe, were buyer's prices. They fit what we're trying to do, and they fit in perfectly. And as I said to you a few weeks ago, now's the time when you're going to see these horses start popping up for sale. Everybody wants to get together, get their yearling capital together for the sales, as we did. But I think we're on the front end of the selling, and we're on the meaty part of the order for the buying, and we're getting the horses we need. I would like to see some deeper horses, stronger race lines, the Atlas Hanover types. I know he was in a little bit of a lull this summer, but his start the other day was impressive and uplifting. I'd like to see horses like him pop up. We need a few more DHs and stronger looking pedigrees for now, or horses for now. But at the same time, they'll come. There's no rush. We don't got to force our hand. They will show up in due time. So with that, a little update as to what went on, what is going on, where I'm going, what I'm doing. You should know that by now. And everything that is the stable as of Thursday the 14th. So 24 hours, just one sleep away from the first major sale of 2023. I hope you all participate. I do appreciate your participation in the stable, and I will talk to you all very soon.